My name is Holly Craven. I'm 24 years old and currently working towards my elementary education degree at the University of North Carolina at Charlotte. On August 4th, 2010, my husband was severely injured while serving in Iraq. This changed our lives forever. I put school on hold to make sure I was beside him through every bit of his recovery. This project is about my husband's injury and recovery. I'm using this project to remember and reflect on my husband's injury. I intend this project to be for my friends, family, and most importantly, my husband, who continues to inspire me every day. Soon after my 16th birthday, I decided to start my first job. Having a job meant freedom to me. I never thought I would meet the love of my life at 16, working my first job, but I did. He walked in with such confidence, yet was still shy and quiet to me. Josh knew everyone I worked with because he had once worked there too. I got used to his frequent visits because his brother now worked with me. I had a bit of a crush on him. He was cute, funny, and really nice. One night, he asked me for my number. We would talk for hours on the phone about anything. He was a senior and 18. I was a junior and 16. We started dating soon after starting to talk on the phone. We were inseparable. We did pretty much everything together. He didn't go to my school, but we always found time to hang out. 3 years into our relationship, we had both graduated. I had started college, and he was working full-time. Josh had always dreamed of joining the military, and in 2008, he did just that. In April, he joined the Army and left for basic training. This was a huge step in our relationship. We had never been away from each other longer than a day. Now we would be until the end of July. I wasn't sure what this meant for us. I was ending my freshman year at college and wasn't sure what the summer would hold. I wanted to spend it with him, but the letters and phone calls would have to be enough. Josh's letters came weekly. I checked the mailbox daily just in case. They were my connection to him. Then one day, I received a letter that would have me thinking more about our future together. He wanted to get married when we got home. I was excited and I couldn't wait to see him. He had a lot of time to think about our future while he was in basic, as did I. I knew then that I loved Josh more than I could ever explain. There would be doubts from friends and family, and there was no question that it wouldn't be easy. I was 18 and he was 20, so this would be a huge decision. Josh graduated from basic and got to come home for a couple weeks before reporting to his duty station in Fort Benning, Georgia. We decided we would get married while he was home. It wasn't fancy and we didn't have much family present, but we knew we had our love. On August 4th, 2008, we said I do. I was ready to spend the rest of my life with him. In sickness and in health, I would be by his side. And 2 years later, this would have more meaning than I ever thought it would have. We moved to Fort Benning shortly after our 19th and 21st birthdays, about a month after marriage. We got a dog and were ready to start our new lives as a married couple. Josh began training for deployment while I continued with my degree. We were happy. We had a routine and it was our life. The military way of life, but it was new to me. There would be nights, weeks, and even a month at a time I would be away from Josh while he was training. I was happy for him because I knew he was doing what he loved. During the summer of 2009, Josh was told he would be deploying for a year. He would be leaving in October for Iraq. We had 3 months to get ready. Well, actually 2, because he had to leave for a month to do extensive training. On August 4th, 2009, we celebrated our first wedding anniversary. We decided I would move home during his deployment so I could graduate from college. The next couple months were hard. I knew each day we woke up was another day closer to him leaving. We spent as much time as we could together. We packed his bags and prepared for me to come back home to North Carolina. The dreaded day came. It was time for him to leave. We made our way to the buses and stood by the other families, kissing their loved ones goodbye. I held his hand until the very last second, kissed him, and with tears in my eyes, said my goodbyes. I watched him as he made his way to the bus. everything I could do to hold myself together. I had spent so many months preparing for the one moment I couldn't really prepare for. We talked as much as we could. Some days I wouldn't hear from him, and I would worry, but I'd have to stay strong and keep busy with school. Halloween, then Thanksgiving, and soon Christmas flew by. We found out that he would be able to come home for 2 weeks during March of 2010. I was so excited for his R&R. I counted down the days and stayed focused in school to pass the time. March came, and so did R&R. I was so happy to pick him up from the airport. We spent the 2 weeks together all the time, with friends and family too. Just as the day came quickly for him to arrive, the day came for him to leave. I was sad to see him leave, and I watched until I couldn't see his plane anymore. The phone calls and Skyping continued as much as possible. I graduated in May and started the summer planning Josh's homecoming. I was thrilled. He would be home in 5 months, give or take some days. I kept busy and found us a new house in Fort Benning to begin decorating for his arrival. He was excited to see the pictures and how the house was coming along. On August 3rd, 2010, I talked to Josh before he was getting ready for bed. He had a mission early the next morning, so I knew I wouldn't hear anything from him until later. Our second wedding anniversary was the next day, so we went ahead and talked about it and how we would celebrate the next month when he got home. We said our love yous and goodbyes, and I went on with my night with my mom and headed to bed early. August 4th, 2010 would come quickly and powerfully, changing our lives forever. It's 7 o'clock, August 4th, 2010, when the phone rings. One glance at the number, and I know it's a Georgia one. Georgia? I think to myself. It must be about my husband coming home from deployment. They make these phone calls from time to time to give you updated information. The Army likes to be super secretive about times and dates, so you never really know. It's our anniversary. How exciting. 2 years of marriage have flown by. Of course, the last 11 months have seemed to drag by without him. I answer the phone in a half-asleep manner. Hello? The other end of the phone is quiet, almost too quiet. Waiting for a response, in my mind I'm thinking about how exciting it is to be finding out the dates when Josh is supposed to be home. I mean, it is our anniversary. How wonderful will it be to get the news that he's coming home on this very day? Hi, is this Holly Craven, Specialist Craven's wife? The other end of the line asks sternly. Yes, this is her, I answer as my heart begins to pick up beats, faster and faster. Hi, ma'am. My name is Captain Stratazar with the 3rd ID Rear Detachment. I'm calling to inform you of an incident that happened this morning in Iraq. The world freezes. I sit straight up in the bed where my mother was beside me. She had been sick lately, so I had been staying with her until I left for Georgia the following week. In that brief second, I felt like nothing was around. I was listening so intensely to the other end of the phone. Your husband was involved in an IED attack this morning during his convoy. Blank. I feel like I've just been kicked in the chest. The tears began to swell in my eyes, sitting just on the rim of my eyelids so delicately. This can't be happening. I just talked to him before he went on that mission. This isn't true. It can't be. Emotion overwhelmed me as I listened. Both of his legs have been injured. The doctors have saved his right one and are working to save his left. No, Josh loves all the things active. Working to save his legs? What does that mean? He has to have them. He'll be crushed if he's not able to walk. Ma'am? I forgot he was even on the phone. I was listening, but I was at a loss for words. My only action was to grab my mom and wake her. She was asking what's wrong, but I couldn't give her an answer. I'm sorry, I'm here. Was there anyone else hurt? No, ma'am. He was the only one injured. I feel some sense of relief at this point that no one else was hurt. None of my friends would have to hear from Captain Stratazar. I have his platoon leader on the line right now. Would you like to speak to her? Of course. I know Josh, and his platoon leader talked often, and he knew her, which meant she knew him, unlike Captain Stratazar, who just had the unfortunate job of making the call. A quiet, timid voice came over the line. Captain Stefanetto was fresh out of West Point. She had just graduated, and this was her first deployment. She had never had to break news like this before. I could tell she was upset, which is against every Army rule. You're supposed to be strong no matter what. She told me again what had happened and that all of Josh's company worked fast to make sure he could get to the nearest hospital as soon as possible. She told me she was sorry that this had happened and that she would continue to keep in touch with me. Before getting off the phone, Captain Stratazar came on one last time. He asked me if there was anyone else I needed him to call. I told him no because I wanted to be the one to call and tell Josh's mom. I didn't want her to receive the call from someone she didn't know. As I hung up the phone, I felt overwhelmed. I burst into tears. My mom was asking me over and over what was wrong, but I had no words to explain. I could not comprehend that it had happened. I know everyone thinks it can't happen to them, but I wasn't one of those people. I had worried every day since Josh had left about his safety and what was happening where he was. The days I went without phone calls were the worst. I thought something bad had happened. But the one day I had just talked to Josh 12 hours before was not the day I thought I would ever get such terrible news. I tried to calm down so I could at least let my mom know what had happened, but all I could get out was, "It was Josh. He was hit by an IED this morning." I crumbled in my mom's arms and cried. I gathered myself enough to dial Josh's mom's number. With my simple broken "hey," she knew something was wrong. I told her all I knew, and we decided I would come to her house with my parents, and we would all comfort each other that afternoon. As I hung up the phone, that kicked in the chest feeling came back, and all types of questions flooded my mind. How is Josh? Will he survive? What will I do? How can I get to him? How can I get to him? I immediately got up and went to grab my things. Frantically, I searched for all of my stuff that I had brought, yet for some reason I was so dazed I couldn't get it all together. As I came back through the kitchen for the second time, my mom grabbed me and asked, "What are you doing?" The answer seemed simple to me. I'm going to Josh. Even as I told her this with all seriousness, I didn't realize how impossible that answer was. I couldn't get to him. I couldn't just get in my car and drive to him. This devastated me. How am I supposed to know he's okay? I have to get there. You know that weak in the knees feeling that all the movies talk about? The one we all don't really believe happens? Well, it does. I fell to the floor, shattered. I just found out that my husband was severely injured, and they were fighting to save his life. I couldn't be there for him. I couldn't get to him if I tried. You see, they don't fly you into war zones.
Don't be afraid, 'cause I'll be coming home one day. I hope and pray to God and Jesus every day to keep me safe. Don't let the kids stay up too late. Be sure you pay all the bills while I'm away. It'll be all okay. It'll be all okay. It'll be all okay. Step on outside. Can you see the stars tonight? There's one bright light shining on you. That's me tonight. I'm right by your side. All you have to do is close your eyes. I'll be right by your side, sleeping with you while you sleep tonight. It'll be all okay. It'll be all okay. It'll be all okay. More than a year. It's been too damn long since I've been hearing these letters of fear you've sent to me. I feel with tears, no need for your tears. It's only waters and atmosphere. Once I'm free from here, I'll bring along some souvenirs. It'll be all okay. It'll be all okay. It'll be all okay. sandstorms and wind. Now where should I begin? Most of my friends are dead and gone from my defense. Last night I dreamt that I would never wake up again. I wanted this to end, but these words of war are hard to mend and be all okay. It'll be all okay. It'll be all okay. Don't be afraid, 'cause I'll be coming home today. Make sure you pray to God and Jesus every day to keep you safe. And all the kids will I'm away, so don't wait too late. And I'll be home, I'm on my way. It'll be all okay. It'll be all okay. It'll be all okay. Step on outside. Can you see the stars tonight? I'm that bright light shining on you and the kids tonight. I'm right by your side. All you have to do is close your eyes. I'll be right by your side. I'm on my way home. I'm on my way back home in your arms tonight.
Oh, baby.
It'll be all okay. It'll be all okay.
I love you. You're doing good.
Yep.
How good do you think you're doing?
Very good.
Tell the camera hello and hi.
Hello and hi. Oh.
Oh no. Did that squish your finger?
We'd heard that humpback whales were migrating to a place called the Silver Banks off the Dominican Republic, and we were invited on a trip
Don't be
down there.
crazy, yeah.
Documentary filmmaker Danny Moore, who travels.
I believe that someone can actually feel bad for something they have done wrong to me. But how can you forgive someone who hasn't ever apologized? Someone who hurt you so deeply you are not sure you could ever forget them. Someone you don't know, and a person that will forever be a mystery to you. Someone sat by early morning, August 4th, 2010, watching my husband's convoy. This person detonated a projectile that would change our lives forever. This person wanted to kill, hurt, and mangle any person in their path. How can you forgive a monster? A monster is what, not who, this person is to me. This monster almost took my husband's life. This monster caused my husband severe injury. He lost his leg, is paralyzed in the other, and constantly deals with the pain caused from that day. Who could forgive a monster causing so much pain and devastation? The pain of hundreds of stitches, staples, and a pain of deep wounds and broken bones. The pain of stressed breathing, and the pain of dealing with an amputation. I've hated and despised the monster that did this to my husband for many years. I would sit and think of all the things he took from my husband, took from me. Josh was ready to further his military career, and this monster took that from him. Seeing my husband go through the painful recovery and even the pain that remains helps me continue my ignorant hate for this monster. But one day, sitting in the bleachers of Central Park in New York City, waiting for Josh to complete his 5th marathon, I thought back to the day that I saw Josh in the ICU for the first time. I remember being so scared for him. The doctors told us he would never walk again. I began to reminisce on those days, months, and years of Josh's recovery. He had came so far. He had become so strong. He had taken his first steps of many more to come. I continued to think of all the great things Josh had accomplished, and as he approached the finish line on this beautiful day, I decided that I needed to let go of the anger. I needed to forgive the person that had done this to him. Josh wasn't gone. He was still here and improving more each day. He was doing things he had never dreamed of doing. Snowboarding the mountains of Colorado, completing world marathons, and even starting to run, something doctors thought he would never do. I had no reason not to forgive this person. He was human just like me, not a monster hiding under the bed, and maybe what he did was something he wasn't happy about. Or maybe he was. It didn't matter. I held on to this anger and hatred for so long that I forgot to see all of the good things that had came from Josh's injury. I decided in that very moment I wouldn't hate this person any longer. I would forgive them and move on. I felt a huge relief, and I knew I didn't need to hang on to this resentment anymore. I watched Josh cross that finish line with pride and tears in my eyes. I was proud of him, and I was proud of myself. I forgave the one person in my life I thought I never would, and it was a relief. Holding on to the pain and anger from the past wouldn't help me be happy in the future. I needed to forgive, and it was powerful. I believe in the power of forgiveness. About to go in and get your filter taken out, hopefully. Are you nervous?
I'm an old man now, I can't do nothing. Young folks don't pay me no mind. But in my day, I sure was something. Before I felt the heavy hand of time. I'm an old man now, bound for glory. Time to lay these burdens down. Had enough of this old world worry. Gonna trade my troubles for a crown. I will make my way across the fields of cotton and wade through muddy waters one last time. And in my dreams I come out clean when I reach the other side, west of where the sun sets, where rainbows never die. I've got one last thing to do, one more mile before I'm through, casting off these earthly chains. Oh, where I reach the other side, west of where the sun sets, where rainbows never die. I'm an old man now, can't do nothing. Young folks don't pay